This video is about configuring NTP in Commando Marshall C3500 series routing switch. Synchronized system clock is critical because every aspect of managing, securing, planning and debugging a network involves determining when event occurred. Without synchronized clocks, accurate correlating log files between the devices when tracking security breaches or network usage or interface up-down state or any protocol events is highly impossible. It also reduces confusion in shared file system as it is important for modification times to be consistent regardless of the machine on which the file system reside. For these reasons, it is important that time configured on all devices on the network is accurate and consistent. In Commando C3500 switch, time can be set manually by user or dynamically from an NTP server. So let's start with configuring manual time setting in Commando C3500 series switch. For that, configure terminal, clock set, and you can set date time, summer time or time zone. So I want to have date and time. So let us say it's a 10 AM and it's a third month, 28 date and 2023 is a year. This is a very straightforward and simple way to configure the clock. We can also set the time zone in the switch. Default time zone should be is a UTC. So for that, clock set, time zone, let's say I want a time zone name Canada and I want to put minus 3 hours and 30 minutes. So this is a very straightforward simple way to configure. We can add, we can have the minus and all. So we can also set the summer time or daylight saving time in the areas where it starts and ends on the particular day each year, recurring on a specified year. Summer time should be disabled by default. The first part of the clock summertime global configuration command specifies when summertime begins and the second part specifies when it ends. All the times are relative to the local time zone. The start time is relative to the standard time and the end time is to the summer time. If starting month is after the ending month, the system assumes that you are in the southern hemisphere. So how to set this summertime? Clock set, summertime. So you can give the name, let us say S time, and you can say recurring and can set the month start, let us say 6 months start, and you can have the date on which, let us say on 10th it start. Time also you can give. So at 2 AM in the morning, date is month is 10th up to 31st, and then time end time is 12:00:00, and you can give the summer times offset, let us say it's 120. So this way daylight setting can be configured in particular time zone. So after configuring the clock, you can see the show clock details to verify the set time manually, or you can also give the show time zone command to see in which time zone you are in. So this way you can see the time zone which is configured for already there in the system. We recommend that you use a manual configuration only as a last resort. If you have an outside source to which the switch can synchronize, you do not need to set it manually and set for the system clock. So you can use a NTP. So NTP is designed for clock synchronization between the devices in the network. In network management, logs or bugging message collected from the different devices like router switches for accounting and monitoring purpose of all these devices. Incremental backup between the backup servers or client require that their clocks are synchronized and consistent throughout the network. So for that you can use the NTP architecture for consistent synchronization. For primary time servers, clock can be derived from our secondary time servers. You can have your inbuilt time server for setting the clocks in your network. So how to configure this NTP for synchronization of the clock? So for that, let us say I want to set NTP. So for that the command is configure terminal NTP, and we can set any of these like authentication interface key, max distance, reference clock, set trust key. Let us say we want to set a key 1, and that key 1 name should be, let us say, commando. Then we can set the NTP server who will provide us a time, let us say 192.168, whatever. We can have the global server also. Let us say our NTP server is 192.168.1.1 key and key number which we have created, key 1 commando. NTP authentication enable to authenticate between the users. We can also have the trust key, NTP trusted key, and we can give the key number. We can also have the NTP ACE, let us say any of the IP address, let us say 6.6.6.6 and none. So show NTP will show the configured clock on your device. Show NTP status will show the status of the NTP. Show NTP association. If it is connected globally, then it will show the associations also with the server. We can also have the NTP command like ACE and its version. So NTP is command to create the access control entries to the NTP server peers. So you can use this command, configure terminal NTP ACE, let us say 1.1.1.1 and version. You can ignore, limited, modify, or you can have no trust or trust. You can also have the NTP broadcast clients. So these broadcast packets on a specified interface can be configured. So let us say interface ETH-0-1 NTP disable, or this way we can disable it. We can have the NTP management IF also. So management interface also we can configure, management MGMT in IF. Let us say my management interface is 192.168.0.1. so this interface management IF interface enable. So we can have the NTP management IF enable also. We can also configure the broadcast delay. So this delay is a estimated round trip delay between the switch and the NTP broadcast server. So for that we can have the broadcast delay also. We can have various keys configured, interface reload. So NTP interface, we can configure the reload, and we can also have the max distance command to configure NTP max sync distance threshold. So NTP max distance, let us say we want to have 16. So maximum distance threshold default is 10, we can make it to 16. So there are stratum commands which will we can configure as a source for taking a reference clock. So for that, NTP reference clock stratum, we can have 1 to 15. So we can have stratum 1 clock from this. We can also have the version change for NTP servers. So NTP server, let us say any of the server 1.1.1.1 version, and we can set the versions from 1 to 3. So let us say I want to have version 2. So all three versions are compatible or can be configured in the COMMANDO C3500 series switch. So you can also see this configuration by giving show NTP, and there are a lot of options. So I want show NTP. So this way I have configured the NTP in COMMANDO Marshall C3500 series switch, which is a very prime important part in any of the network. Thank you for watching this video. Hope this is very helpful to you, and if this information is useful, please like and subscribe. Thank you for your precious time. See you in next video.